Hey guys, as you can tell from the title of the video, I'm actually going to be trying to design and draw an OC. But to explain a little more, I've recently gotten into Dungeons and Dragons. If you don't know what Dungeons and Dragons is, it's like a tabletop RPG where it's like everyone's at a table like a board game, but they role play and have stats. Like they have a piece of paper telling you your stats. So if you want to like role play and say I climbed a tree, you actually ask the person in charge if you can climb that tree, and they'll like ask you to do like a roll with a die, and then you see if you can climb the tree. And it's really interesting because you can like role play, but there's like rules, and it's actually really interesting. It really it depends on what your DM is. A DM is the person who's in charge of the game. So there's like some people who are role playing with their characters, and then there's one person who's in charge of the game and like makes up the story as you go along and makes NPCs you talk to and stuff like that. And you can do whatever you want. So for instance, if an NPC comes into the game and you decide you want to kill him, you're free to do so. So I decided to make a character for this game because that's how it works. In order to play, you need a character. That is, unless you're DM. So my character is a tiefling. A tiefling, it looks like a half demon, half human. It has like a tail and it has horns, but it looks humanoid and looks human. So that's what my character is. And my character is also, it has an alignment. An alignment's like something that says if they're good or not. So you could be like neutral good. Well, not neutral good. I don't know if that's a thing. Is it? I think neutral good is, I don't know. And there's like chaotic good, and there's like neutral evil, and then there's like chaotic evil and stuff like that. And then there's like, I don't know if there's a neutral. Is there? I don't know what they are. Okay, I don't know what they are, but I actually took a quiz for my character in order to try and figure out what that was, because I'm really not sure on how to judge what it is. I was guessing it was going to be like a neutral evil or a chaotic evil, and I couldn't pick. I took a quiz and it said it was chaotic evil, but I don't think my character is that evil. My character, what I'm trying to go for, is they're like a thief, but they're not that bad. Like, I don't know how to explain. They're a bad guy, but they're not that bad. Like, they'll steal stuff, but they won't go out of their way to, like, harm people unless they, like, got caught, I guess. I don't know how to explain it. I want my character to be something I'm not normally am. Like, normally when I play games like Skyrim and games like that, I normally play as a character that I can relate with. So, like, normally I'm always a goody two-shoe. But for this roleplay, I wanted to be something different. So that's why my character is more, like, a bad guy. But he's not like a bad guy in the sense he's like all brooding and he's like edgy and he's gonna like be like that. No, he's actually really like, he's really peppy and he's like really really out there, and like he seems really happy all the time. So I want to make sure I get that in my character design. So I'm not sure how to design him. Tieflings, I think, can have lots of different skin colors. Like they could be purple, gray, kind of like a dark elf. You know, dark elves can have like gray skin and stuff like that. So I have actually no idea. Tieflings have horns as well, so I don't know how I want to do horns. I think I want them to be like curly horns, but I'm not sure. So I'm going to go look at Instagram and see what all Tieflings, like fan art people have done, to try and get an idea of how my character should look. Okay, here's some fan art from Dungeons and Dragons. I'm assuming, yeah, it says there's a hashtag Dungeons and Dragons. So this is fan art for Dungeons and Dragons, which is the game I'm trying to play. So I'm guessing the one on the left there is the Tiefling. And the one next to it's the elf, the one next to it's the dwarf, and the one next to that's the orc. That's what this group is. So we can see here that this person's tiefling has purple skin. And actually right now in my group, my younger brother, who's, I think, yeah, he's over 20. I'm like right now, I can't figure out what his age is. I think he's 20 years old. I think. I don't know your age. You're my brother, but I'm a terrible sister. Awful, but yeah, he's a dark elf and his skin's purple, so I don't want to go with purple skin simply because I don't want us to match. I want us all to look very different. So we're gonna look at some other pictures and see what else people do. This one is so pretty. Okay, look at that hair. It looks like seaweed, almost like ocean and seaweed. That's what I'm getting out of it, those vibes. And I love the skin now. There's like all those marks on them, and like it's just so cute. Okay, honestly, and not to mention the horns are 2 different sizes. That is so unique. I love this. I'm not going to make one nearly as unique, so I'm just going to live with that now. I'm going to know that my character is not going to be as cool as this one, but I'm going to try. But this one is a tiefling as well, I believe. Yeah, it says half elf tiefling in the, yeah, it says 1/2 elf, 1/2 tiefling, and it's junior. I don't know if that means I don't know what that means. But their OC has like a reddish skin mixed with a more tannish skin. So I guess the skin color can vary a ton based on this. So I guess I don't really have to follow rules based on what the skin color can be. I may actually make the skin color either like a dark skin color, like a dark brown, or I may even just do like a light peach. I don't know. I don't know if I want them to look like they could be possibly half human. Because that would be interesting if it was. But I also don't know if I want them to be, so I'm so confused. I'm bad at this. I'm bad at OC making. This one is entirely creepy looking, but this is what I want the horns to look like. I want the horns to come down and be like curly, because I think that looks so cute. It's like ram horns, you know, like rams, and they just have the cutest horns, and I just want to use that. I know that doesn't make them look dangerous, but my character isn't really a dangerous type. I mean, he like pickpockets and tries to do things like illegal that we wouldn't get noticed for doing, and he only battles whenever he gets like caught or is in a bad situation. So he's kind of like that guy. He's like the guy who's like a freeloader, or he like just does things for kicks. He's more like a troubled teen kind of guy. He's over the age of 20, but he seems like more like a troubled kid rather than a full-on villain. So I'm guessing he'd be more like a neutral evil rather than a chaotic evil, I would assume. This one made their skin pink. So I'm guessing there is no rules based on what the skin color can be for these characters, because they're OCs, right? So might as well do what you want. So I'm probably just gonna wing it, and my character's not going to resemble much of a tiefling at this point, because my ideas, they don't look like what you'd imagine a tiefling. They probably imagine like maybe like a bluish skin or like a red skin and like horns and like devil tail or something. That's what I'm guessing people will assume, but I don't know. I don't know what I want to do. You guys make always like such cool original OCs, and now that I'm trying to make one myself, I realize it's not so easy at all. Well, I'm going to go ahead and we'll get right into drawing. Okay, I'm done. This was so hard for me because, okay, I actually design quite a bit of OCs because me and my brother, we used to do lots and lots of like role playing and making up characters and stuff like that. So I used to do it all the time, and not to mention I do it for like my Minecraft series and stuff like that. So I'm kind of making up stuff all the time, but when I'm trying to make up a character based on stuff from inside the game of Dungeons and Dragons, like being a tiefling or how my character is a thief, I'm trying to fit what my character is like and trying to make it look sort of like what they would look like. So that was the hardest part, because my character is supposed to be like spunky, and it's supposed to be like super like more of a likable sort of personality, and he's like real out there and stuff, but he's also like mindlessly does bad things like stealing, pickpocketing, stuff like that. He'd even mindlessly probably attack someone who was trying to, like maybe someone who caught him stealing or something like that. So he is a bad guy, but I also want him to have the personality of someone likable. So it's like the kind of thing, like, you know, when there's a villain who's likable, but yet they're bad. That's what it's kind of like. It's kind of like that. Because I wanted my character to be something interesting in our group, because our group is full of lots of different people. One of the members in the group is a dark elf that's like one with nature. They're a druid, and they like talk to animals and stuff like that. So that's one thing. Then there's another one, which I think is a human, but they're like into archaeology and like have all these maps, and they know how to read all this ancient languages and stuff like that. But they also kind of are a little bit racist and hate my type of people. So they're constantly bickering and fighting with my character. So that's something. But then there's another character that's half dwarf, half human, and they are I don't know if they did hunting. I know they're always selling furs in town and stuff like that. So I'm guessing they do lots of hunting, because they also were like, they killed a giant snake and then started like peeling the skin off and like salvaging all the meat and stuff like that. It's like so weird, but I guess that's what their character does. I don't know a lot about their character. Their character seems pretty grounded. Like they have a family and they talk about their family all the time. So that's pretty interesting. My character, on the other hand, doesn't talk about their family ever. They're a very like lonely type of person. I'm guessing they probably like ran away from home. They just don't like want anything to do with their family, and that's what my character is like. So I wanted my character to fit that idea of being like real spunky, but also not a good guy. So that's what I was aiming for here. But I made his, as you see, I made his horns curly. That's what I really wanted to do. I really wanted the curly horns. And I also made the skin tone, like I said, a very pale peach. I also wanted to add lots of freckles. So you'll see here, I do add freckles because I thought that was interesting and different. And that's like I said, I wanted to give the appearance that they could possibly resemble a human a little bit, because my character constantly goes into cities and they just pull their hood up in order to cover their horns and have a long robe to cover their tail. And they go into cities and try to disguise themselves as being human instead of being a tiefling, because tieflings are very hated in our roleplay right now. And I don't know why. My character's just hated by most everyone. Well, besides two of the friends are not so mean. The other girl with the archaeology, she's a jerk. Yeah, so my brother, his character hates me, all right? I don't know why. Don't understand it, but you know, this game is super fun because it's based on 100% like role play. It's just total role play, and whoever's DM, we always swap off DM. We all have a character, and then we swap off DM so all the characters can meet different, do different things together. It's a continual world. The world is the same thing, like it's continuing on, and every time a new DM comes in, they like have a different box for their NPCs and stuff like that, so that when they're on, they can bring their NPCs back that are still alive and stuff like that. And then we swap on and off with this, so that everyone has a chance to use their characters, everyone has a chance to level up and do all that stuff. So it's pretty interesting. It's a really fun game. It's weird. I did not know there was a game with so much roleplay to it. It's like the best RPG you could have, because you could do literally anything. Anything. If you want to swing from a chandelier and try to hit someone in the face with your shoe and hope that's going to help you win the battle, you can try that. Sure, the DM is probably going to be like, roll your dexterity or something and see how you do. So that's terrible. If you get a natural 1 when you roll the die, like if the 1 comes up, that literally means you failed really, really badly. You could even hurt yourself. You failed so badly. It's hilarious. There was this guy. It was an NPC who was trying to jump across the river, and he was going from rock to rock, but he rolled, like the DM behind the station rolled for the NPC to see how they do. And he got a natural 1. So he literally slipped on a rock, hit his head on the other rock, went unconscious, and started going down the river. So my character was like, you know, just leave him. Let's just leave him there, because my character's a bad guy. See, I'm not a bad guy, but my character, I gotta be in character with my character. I said character way too many times, but you know what I mean. I gotta be in character and make sure my character seems real. I gotta make sure I stay in character, even though me as a person would be like, let's go save him. But I want my character to be himself. So I got to make sure he is and try and keep that going. So it's kind of like acting in a sense, where you have to keep your mindset to be your character. But then my friend, which was with me, which is the person I said was a hunter, they're half dwarf, they went to go get him out of the water, and they left him there next to the water as we left. But yeah, so he didn't die, but it was hilarious, because if you roll a natural 20 when you're rolling a die, there's a 20-sided die you have. So yeah, getting a 1 is pretty low chance. But you know, if you roll a 20, that means pretty much you can get a critical hit, which means like you roll the damage twice, or you can do whatever you're doing incredibly well. So if you're trying to persuade someone into believing you, and you're trying to deceive someone or something, like this deception and persuading are two different things. Like you persuade someone into like, hey, you want to help me out with this or something. But if you want to deceive someone with like false information, that's a different thing. But if you get a natural 20, it pretty much means you just do that very well, like incredibly well. And usually the DM just is like, okay, yeah, you totally got this going, because if you got a natural 20, not much is going to block that. I mean, I don't know what would. It's pretty much the best thing you could get, which is great. There was this one time we were in this weird, possessed, haunted sort of house, and we were trying to examine things around the house. And every single time me and my sister or my friend in the role play would examine something, we'd get natural 1s constantly. And a 1 means you can't do anything. So we kept, like, they were making jokes every time we'd examine a bookcase and get a natural 1. The DM was like, you forgot what a bookcase is. Because we did so bad. Like, what do you get as a negative for examining a bookcase and getting natural 1s? We kept doing that. And it was so annoying. It was so annoying, but we finally got out of there. Like, oh my gosh. A ton of you guys keep mentioning, like, while I'm drawing your OCs, you'd comment and be like, but what are your OCs? My OCs are just like, you know, what you see in my grandma series. Those are my OCs. Those are OCs actually created by me and my brother. The story is actually based on a story my brother and I made up. So that's why those are my OCs. And also, that's why I wanted to do this video instead of doing this like off camera. I thought you guys can see me create an OC, and I thought that would be fun. So I hope you guys like his design. I wasn't sure exactly how to go with it. I wanted him to look really spunky and out there, but also look like he could be really mischievous and really like not trustworthy. So I hope I got that in this character. And now I'm going to look at some comments you guys posted, okay? If you guys want to be featured in a comment, all you have to do is ask a question. So you can just go in the comments, ask a question, and you have a good chance of being featured. Well, not a good chance, but you know what I mean. I'm going to be uploading more often. I may upload even every day for a while with art videos and stuff like that. Trying to get on a good schedule. I think I have a schedule idea going. Hopefully this works. So the first comment is from Emily, aka Writer, and they say, what is the difference between your commission and free art? I actually get this comment a ton. That's why I want to reply to this. Is because a ton of people write me on Instagram and they write me in the comments and they're constantly asking, what is a commission? What is that? A commission is a free piece of art. It's just, well, I do it for free. But a commission means you actually pay the artist to get the work done. So it's pretty much just you have to pay real money in order to get the commission. And if you go to my commission info, you can see that. That's what I should explain it in there. Hopefully I explained it good enough, but yeah, that's the difference. The free art is practically a commission, like a commission in the sense you guys can use the free art for whatever you want, but it's not a commission as in you didn't pay. It's just free, like you get it, it's like a gift. One's a gift and one is something you pay for. That's the difference. The next comment is from GRuth94651. One question, why is this series called Grandma if it has nothing to do with a grandma? I get this comment a lot too. It's called Grandma because it's actually based on a role play me and my brother did as kids. We used to play toys and we played little things that were paper figures. They were paper that was like printed out with images on it, and we cut them out and we used them as toys, and we played and made up characters. The series Grandma is based on that series, and in that series there was this almost like immortal, almost like a deity, someone who's like almost all powerful. And their name was Grandma, not because they're necessarily grandma. The name came from the first time they actually were a grandma. Their kid called them Grandma. But this person was immortal. So when they had a grandchild, or a great-grandchild, or whatever, she was still called Grandma because no one wants to call her great-great-great-great-great-grandma. So we just call her Grandma. So it kind of kept going and going and going, and she's so immortal that the entire world has gotten on to the point that everyone just calls her Grandma. So, like, everyone calls her that even if she isn't their grandma. I don't know how to explain it, but that's why. It's really weird, but the name is based on that character, which is immortal. So, that is why it's called Grandma. But if you want it to be featured in a comment, just comment below with a question. And also, if you have any ideas for videos, please leave them below as well, because I will be doing lots of art videos, and I would like lots of ideas. Thank you guys so much for watching.